frame one. Brecel dominated frame two, made 81 in frame three. Missed that black going into the reds in frame four. O'Sullivan made 94. And we restart after the interval, all square.
Very clean shot on the red now. He wants the cue ball to hold up so he can get onto a colour, and it has. A nice shot, this sort of shot that Luca Brecel knocks in all of the time. Been scooping all the big prizes, is Seath O'Sullivan, hasn't he? All around the world. Not only, of course, 2 Triple Crown events, but in Shanghai, came back to the UK and won
5
World Grand Prix. He's had an incredible season. So he knows exactly what is required. I think he knows he's going to have to step up on what he's played today if he's going to go and win this against Luca.
6.
I think last night's form might be sufficient because he played beautifully against John Higgins, but earlier on against Judd Trump it wasn't quite like that. In fact, far from it. He got the job done, but helped by Judd's not playing anywhere near his game. Does that red go at the bottom of the bunch? He's looking at it into the same pocket as the black.
Well, so many of the people here, I'm sure, are seeing live snooker for the first time. What a match, what a couple of players they're watching here. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 48 years of age, remember. On this day in 1983, Ray Reardon won a tournament at the age of 50. The oldest winner of a major event. Surely this man, in a couple of years' time, is going to break that record. Into the reds we go.
Couldn't have played it any better because the pink is way above the bunch, but he
90.
thrashed the pink into the reds, and he's on one. It was a really good split, you know. I mean, it may not have got a rapturous applause, but that was the kind of split which would go wrong very often.
Yes, I mean, he still plays a young man's game, doesn't he? We saw the average shot times in the interval, they're 15 seconds each so far tonight.
Playing with right-hand side, he wants to be down on the red by the black that's half covering the black spot. That's the red of choice, just to tidy things up around that part of the table. I'd like to have been a bit straighter on it.
27.
Played it well. But there's quite a bit of work to do here. That bunch of Havildars and reds tightly packed. And that's the problem, you see. The reds were so close up. It didn't leave a lot of room for manoeuvre with the cue ball. I'm not sure he's on one here. Maybe a difficult one to the middle, and it really is difficult from that view we've just seen of it. I mean, this could easily be missed. Well, I mean, it's an incredible shot there. He made it look easy, but it wasn't. I wasn't entirely sure about that, Black, as to whether it was going to drop.
42. $43.
So Brecel was on top at 2-1. He was in frame 4. He missed a black going into the reds. O'Sullivan made 94. The momentum has definitely shifted back to the 7 times world champion.
50.
Looking tonight to win his 79th professional title.
51.
Remember when Steve Davis beat him in the Masters final 97, and it was sort of painted as a win for this veteran, you know, coming back. Almost like the colour of money, you know, coming back from nowhere. Steve was 39. Ronnie's 48.
$57. $64. 65.
So again, in no time at all, we're at frame ball for a 3-2 lead for O'Sullivan. What a masterful break this has been.
It really
72.
has, actually. I mean, it just didn't seem like there was that many on when he came to the table. I know we've said
73.
that before, but it was a very skillful breaking open of the bunch. And the red to middle queuing awkwardly was another gem of a shot.
80.
Well, 98%
81.
pot success.
Well, he's raised his game, hasn't he? And he needed to, I think, from what we saw earlier. As the red past the pink, that's the question. Little grimace, he mightn't be on it
88.
comfortably, if at all. Maybe it will go off the right jaw. And he's going for the other one instead.
89.
You mentioned that's 39, Steve Davis. Of course, we've got 9 players in the top 16, over 40 at the moment. So the game has certainly changed since then.
Yeah, the thing is, at that time, late 90s, so many of the top players were in their 20s. Now,
91.
so many are in the 40s. They're the same people. They're the Ronnies, the Johns, the Mark Williamses. Just an extraordinary record of longevity.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be an experienced player, but that isn't always enough. You've still got to have the game, the coordination, the technique that you had all those
99.
years before.
Here we go then for the century.
100.
O'Sullivan back on top in the final, in style. Look at the faces there. Absolute delight at what they're watching.
$107.
Just flick the yellow. No matter.
Well, I'm glad this final is not a best of 7. I'm glad it's a best of 9, because you're going to be left wanting more, aren't you? Whatever duration it's over.
112.
And best of 9 feels at least a little bit more fitting of such an occasion, such a prize fund, such an audience.
116.
A sigh that he doesn't make the total clearance. 121 will have to do. Ronnie O'Sullivan's 5th century of the tournament. He leads the final 3-2.